Hi everyone, my name is Tina and I'm a toddler teacher at Two Short Stories Academy, and today I'm here to give you some tips to use at home to develop and strengthen your child's language. So let's get started. So as an educator and a mom, I use most of these tips daily to help me with my routines. So tip number one is practice. If your child has trouble saying a certain sound, such as the F sound, f, 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 encourage him or her to make that sound all by themselves. So if they are not sure, you could give them options, like saying, does the letter F make the b, b sound, or does it make a f, f sound? That should be easier for them than just coming up with them themselves. Once they've gotten the sound down, and then you can move on to incorporating the rest of the word. So if we want to say the word fish, we want to get the children to say the word fish. We want to start off by saying f, f, f over and over and over again. And then after they've gotten the first sound down, we can add in the rest of the word. So say f, f, fish. Awesome, good job. So repetition is going to be so important. It's so important, especially for our small children. A good tool to use and a good resource is using flashcards. Using flashcards like these or any flashcards that you may have at home to use to build their vocabulary, encourage them to repeat the words after you. So go through the flashcards and get them to say not only what is in the picture. So for example, this is a apple, and then encourage them by saying, good job. You can ask simple questions like, what color is the apple? And then we can identify that the word apple starts with the letter A. Then ask them, what sound does the letter A make? It makes a sound. That's right. And then have them repeat that over and over again. Once they've gotten the sound down, then have them try to say apple. This is a apple. Awesome. So instead of trying to go through all of the flashcards in one session, just try to go through maybe 3, 4. Just go through a handful. If they are fully engaged in the activity and they are enjoying what they're doing, add in more. That's completely fine. You'll get up to doing all of them, but making the session short and keeping them engaged is our main goal. We want to keep their focus and keep them engaged, and we want them to want to do this learning. Okay, so tip number 2 is focus on what they can do. At times it is easy to get frustrated or upset when our children are unable to communicate with their words. We've all been there. We've all had to go through that. Sometimes our children are just not able to tell us how they're feeling or express exactly what they want to get out. So we want to praise them for other small victories. So praise them for cleaning up their toys, or praise them for being polite and saying thank you, or being a helpful big brother, big sister. These are the opportunities where we can praise them and understand that all children learn differently, and they all learn on their own time. So we're not going to push them. We're going to have patience, and we're going to work with them. That's the best thing that we can do. So my tip number 3, this is also so important. So tip number 3, we want to keep the distractions to a minimum. So it's probably a good idea if the TV is not on, or there's not music playing, or maybe do it in a space where there is not too many toys on the ground. If you are working with toys and you're going to be using toys to help develop their language, that's fine. That's great. We want to use what they are interested in. So instead of using a full basket of cars, because this can be very distracting to some, or using a handful of books, maybe we want to just start with maybe 3 cars. Maybe we'll just start with 2 books. Same goes back to the flashcards. Maybe we'll only use 3 flashcards. We want to keep the session short so our children have an easier time to keep their focus. So again, if you're using the flashcards, just use a handful of them. And it's important that we use toys that spark their interest. Maybe your child is interested in cars, so use cars to help them learn. Maybe they're interested in animals. Great, use animals to help them learn. These are great resources, and they're resources that we already have in our home. So that is a great thing to use, for sure. Ask questions, listen to what they have to say, because children learn best when actually spoken to. So the more we speak to our children, the better they're gonna learn. So tip number four, this may seem like a bit of a strange one, but use straws. Drinking liquids through them, or using a straw and then blowing into one end and blowing, say, a pom-pom or a ping pong ball, will help your child develop the muscle strength in their mouth that is important for clear speech. So an idea is, if your child is using a sippy cup that doesn't have a straw in it, you might want to consider changing it. These are just suggestions. These are not things that you have to do. These are just things that I have personally known to work for others. But again, they're just suggestions, and they're tips and tools that you can take from here and use in your home if you want. And number 5, probably most important and one of my favorites, is reading. Lots and lots of reading. Read to your child. This is a fun activity that the whole family can get in on, and it's a great way to get their imagination working. So even if your child is too young to be able to read the words in the storybook, that's okay. Our toddlers, we love to read to them, and they may not be able to repeat the words, but they are listening. So we can go through the story and not only read the words, but explain what is going on in the picture. They will remember the context from hearing it, and this will help strengthen their speech and confidence. So using books and reading to your children lots will definitely benefit them. So one of the biggest things you can do for your child, and it doesn't matter what age they are, is to talk clearly to them on a regular basis. Kids imitate their parents, so just try and have conversations. Just ask questions, talk to them, listen, and be patient with them. And they will learn to develop their language further. And by using these tools and these tips, you'll be on your way to helping your children learn even more. So I hope you enjoyed my video today. Again, these are just tips that you can use at home. They're just suggestions. And I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like our video down on the bottom, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye everybody. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel, 2 Short Stories, and I'll see you again soon. Bye everybody.